make a move and the bunny gets it.
I said, put the bunny back in the box. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
It's showtime.
Roar. Roar.
Colonel Ironsides here. 200 years I stood in the gap, fighting those who would harm my country. It was my honor, my sacred duty, so help me God. 9 times they took my life. 9 times I stood back up and made them pay. The freedom fighter and I could handle anything, but someone betrayed me. I was ambushed, made mortal, rendered powerless, and retired. They passed an amendment and made me a civilian before I left the hospital. For 50 years I watched my country change. Watched its work while erasing me from history. The day I quit my job, I powered up and discovered they lied about that too. I'll remind them of freedom. I'll remind them of duty. I'll remind them of their oaths and who they serve. I'll remind them while I'm shoving it down their throats.
Psychically, I'm very well endowed.
I want to know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hey everybody, welcome to Thursday night Gen X Files, pop culture from the point of view of the generation from which it was made. I do get some pushback on that, but when you look at the majority of the most iconic pop culture we've gotten out of the last century, most of it will fall, or at least the ones that are most relevant to today, falls within the lifespan of Gen X, especially our younger years. And so perspective on pop culture matters. So not necessarily mine, but Gen X in general. Anyway, I had something kind of odd happen. My primary social media outlet tends to be X these days, which I don't have a problem with. I think I do pretty well on it. But I had a tweet the other day. A post, verbiage in there. Anyway, but I had a post that went really. I mean, there's some people this is routine, but for me, it had some legs. I mean, I even got somebody retweeted it or liked it this morning. But the subject matter I thought was very important. So now this is the now John Delarose, his outfit, which yeah, but this is actually when you do your research, this is actually something that happened a little while ago. But evidently, John's whoever does his research, because John doesn't do research. I mean, my God, that would interfere with his tennis, the tennis that he plays every day. You know, when he doesn't have his carpal tunnel acting up. I know way too much about that dude. I really do. Uh, because he says everything. Anyway, Matt Dinneman, author of Dungeon Crawler Carl. I didn't even know these books existed. But I did see Critical Drinker like talk about them before. And I distinctly remember Critical Drinker was cast in the audiobook for the third book as a drunken orc. I think it's a drunken, no, it's a dwarf. And the dwarf evidently says, go away now, or something like that. You know, that's all I got. That's all I got for you today. Go away now, or something like that. And the guy who was doing the audiobook got Critical Drinker to do the bit, bit, or on the book. Even in a small role, even as a bit part. His fans, these things work. You get somebody to cameo on your thing. Hip hop does this all the time. Okay, they will do so they'll bring somebody in just to do a verse, and because that particular fan base want to find out what the verse is or how did they do, basically inflates the whole hip hop industry. In that, the numbers aren't real, mostly because that track gets released as a single, and then everybody gets paid, and the customer might get a few phrases, or in Little John's case, yeah, on the background of some track somewhere. So that's a really bad Little John impression. I apologize. Cameo on this guy's third book, audio, asked by the guy who did his audiobooks. And later on, the Tears had a problem with that. And so they go after Matt Dinneman on Reddit. And basically make him disavow, having such an awful person on his track. Anyway, so this is the Fandom Pulse. He digs this up because of the current predicament between Critical Drinker, having Andy Weir on, the author of Project Hail Mary. While the movie's still in the theaters and still flying high, so it's not somebody on the backside of their career or somebody irrelevant. This is a pretty significant get for Critical Drinker. It means that he has some clout in the industry. The guy over 2 million subscribers. He's got serious clout. Okay, they just won't admit it. But anyway, got a comment over here. Let's see what this one is. As soon as it brings it up. Yeah, I need to turn it on anyway. Hi, from Lily. Hey, Lily. Forgot to turn that on. All right. Hi, Lily. Good to see you. All right. So what happens is, Mr. Dungeon Crawler Carl, Matt Denneman, the author, he disavows Drinker. Now, there's a way to disavow somebody and not disrespect them. Okay. There's a way to distance yourself without like denigrating somebody. The way people have like distance themselves these days is they will decry the person and claim that they didn't know who this person was, and if they had known who this person was, they never would have used them. In other words, this person's utterly and completely disgusting out of their whole entire existence. And the only reason I'm associated with them is because I didn't know this at the time. Ruben Gallego is trying to do this right now with Matt Swalwell. The disgraced politician in California. Well, his best buddy, Ruben Gallego, is suddenly saying, "Oh, I didn't know who he was." And they're like, "You ran his campaign for president, dude. Did you not check him out? But the whole disavow thing, it's just something that people do these days. They're kind of forced to. They're kind of like you are cancel you too. Nice career, nice life's blood you've got here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it. If you don't, so if you're connected with this person that we're canceling, you'll have to share in their cancellation. See how this works? Well, that is the way. That's the way this stuff is kind of supposed to have to work, right? Well, there's an issue there. Okay, so we'll talk about that. But my tweet that went viral. Let me read this tweet by Fandom Pulse, however poorly written it is. Matt Denneman, author of Dungeon Crawler Carl, has choice words for the critical drinker. Now, these are old choice words. This was on Reddit a little while ago. Okay. But he's digging it up to, because this is a culture war thing, and this is how JDA makes his money. But anyway, he says for critical drinker, I regret that my books have any association whatsoever with him. I hope that one day to have his part in the book 3 removed altogether. It's a distraction, and the only edgelord douchebag I want people to think of when they read my books is the AI itself. So anyway, so not edgelord douchebag. That's what he's calling Matt. No, is it Matt? I can't remember his real name. Also drinker. Well, critical drinker. Okay. But anyway, so if you don't know who critical drinker is, look him up. You thank me later. He makes great content. He really does. But anyway, so he's got a very distinctive Scottish accent. Well, that's all I got for you today. Go away now. That's the best I can do. You have to hear him say it, but it's very distinctive. Anyway, as a matter of fact, when Andy Weir was on his show, which is why everybody started going after the drinker, saying bad things about Alex Kurtzman and Trek, modern Trek, and so he walked back the tenor of his statements. He didn't quite walk back the tenor of his statements, but he not disavow critical drinker or going on the show. That's very important. He just said, "Oh, things I said, are taken out of context, but I said them and they were rude, and I apologize." you know, Andy's a good writer, and he still wants to work in the industry, so I understand. I understand why he kind of bent the knee a little bit. But anyway, so my tweet that I wrote was, with about 6 million let me see, critical drinker, these books need to be adapted. They're awesome. Matt Denneman, oh no, a cheddar with millions of followers likes my books. Time for self-sabotage. Yeah. Mr. Matt Denneman, I know you're not going to hear me. You're not going to get this. You're not going to hear. I mean, my reach is minuscule. Okay. But if I were to talk to you right now, that tweet, what I meant by that tweet is this. And I think it's right why it's got some legs, why people are retweeting it and checking it out, or liking it, is because this is a sentiment shared by a lot of people. Look at my play on that tweet. Okay. Says numbers. I never get those numbers. So what I said struck a chord with people. Okay. And for those who can't read, that's 67 reposts, 2 quotes, 4,059 likes, and 29 bookmarks. That's pretty significant. So what did I say there? That struck a nerve. Well, self-sabotage. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, the thing that I don't understand is I'm a creator. My comic, link to my comic, including a sample of it, is in my description. So as a person who's kind of struggling to get people to see my stuff, reason why I created this channel was a little bit of self-promotion, but also I wanted to help other people. Also wanted to correct a narrative that writing is not important. Believe it or not, there's idiots out there who are preaching that anybody can write. You know, that's one of the reasons why we're in the shape we are in. But anyway, but one thing that I have been boosted by people who I did not agree with. The biggest boost I've ever gotten from on this channel is from a guy by the name of Ethan Van Sciver. He's a former comic book artist in the mainstream. You would know his work. He did his most notable is probably Green Lantern Rebirth. He drew that. But he was kind of canceled out of the industry, and he kind of got into a fledgling movement, kind of anti-wokeification comics movement called Comicsgate. They called it Comicsgate. They did. And so people took the label, and he kind of became the head of it, and became it's like his voice, biggest agitator, biggest auction. He kind of like sucks up a lot of it. But he saw me comment on your boy Zach, another creator, another notable guy. But his mishandling of the property of the Expendables goes to hell. You know, why he did that, I've got other speculations, but that's going to derail us. But he saw where I kind of like threw a shot at him in my review. But he, the reason why he found that review is because he felt like I do that Zach mismanaged the whole entire campaign. You know what? Was the $750,000 book in the end should have been several millions, easy. With any kind of promotion whatsoever, it would have been over $1 million, easy. But he saw my review, like kind of tech shot him. Said that he was up his own ass. And well, at the when he was EFAPing me, which means play somebody else's content on your channel for content purposes. He said that maybe I am up my own. Maybe he's right about that. Which immediately I was like, okay, that's bad news because he's marking me as an enemy by pointing this out that I badmouthed him. And so immediately I ran to my channel. I mean, immediately I dropped everything I was doing, run to my channel, and like Andy Weir, I apologize for the way I said what I said, but not the content of what I said. That's important. But I basically said it was disingenuous of me to take a shot at somebody because I didn't think that they'd ever see this. In fact, as a matter of fact, EVS may very well see this, what I'm saying right now. And so I apologize for that. He played it on his channel, I guess, expecting me to kind of double down or maybe say more nastier things. But he saw my apology, appreciated it, and I got a boost out of it. Okay. I went on his channel 2 times after that. Some people don't ever get on it once, but I was on it 2 times. Physically, I was on it 2 times. I was mentioned on it more than that. But the thing about it is even though I have disagreements with him, some pretty fundamental disagreements, especially over the writing thing, he boosted me. And so this has happened several times where somebody has been boosted by another creator that they don't always agree with, and they've immediately ruined the boost, or at least tried to get that person's enemies to give them some back pats or something. But you immediately go to insulting that person and basically disavow. I'm not part of this. I don't know them. Don't hurt me. But I didn't choose to do that. I don't really consider myself into that whole thing. I black some of the creators that are still in it. Which reminds me, I need to get my Rainbow Brute. Yeah, I need to check on that. Anyway, sorry, note to self. But I didn't disavow, or I didn't immediately. I disavowed my behavior that it was disingenuous for me to badmouth somebody behind their back, thinking they'll never see it. Now I no longer. I try not to be that way now. I don't care if JDA said I said earlier. I don't care. Okay, Nepo baby needs to take as many notches as possible. But anyway, I digress. But the thing about it is you have to understand that any person is important, okay? And if you basically come back later after somebody's boosted you and badmouth them or disavow or try to distance yourself because you're getting night letters from assholes who probably aren't buying your content anyway, but just want you to be on side for the culture war. If you turn on them like that, then it hurts your reputation, it hurts your momentum, and it hurts the way people think about you because they start thinking of you as a mealy-mouthed little weasel. That's the worst thing. You can be anybody that's considered a hypocrite or a turncoat or a backstabber. If you get labeled with those things, and especially if it's justified, it will destroy your credibility. It would destroy people's perception of you, and it will destroy people's desire to ever support you again. That's what's happened to Hollywood right now. Is they read their mouths so much and badmouth the people who supported them so much that people who supported them before will never support them again. Okay. I just saw an advertisement for yet another Fockers movie. Okay. Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, Young Fockers. I think the next one was. I don't know. This latest one is Step Fockers. I think. I don't know, but it has Ben Stiller and it has Robert De Niro and Ariana Grande on the posters. Okay, these three have all three run their mouths about most of America and disavowed most of America and stabbed in the back most of America, the very people who they're asking to support them now. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Okay. I am bleached out. Hold on. We took it down just a notch or two. There we go. I'm way too red right now. Anyway. But that's not how any of this works. Okay. You cannot walk back, betrayal. You cannot make people forget your words, your actions. And if they see you disavowing somebody that helped you along the way, then they immediately say, well, that person will turn on me just the same. It hurts your character, hurts your credibility. There are ways to distance yourself from somebody that don't include disavowing them altogether. There are ways to handle that. Matt Denneman did not do that. Okay. De Niro, Stiller, and Ariana Grande, there's no way that movie flies. There's absolutely no way that movie flies because it's aimed towards a demographic that they have been spending the last, I don't know how long, bad-mouthing, disavowing. And just because they hate one guy. Just because they hate one guy, they have thrown their careers away. De Niro hasn't had a hit in years. Neither has Stiller. Ariana Grande just turned off people so bad that Wicked, the second half, fell off a cliff from the first one. And because they literally had to pull her off of the media tour because her and Ozempic lady, whatever her name is, the weird looking lady. She looks like Max Schreck from Nosferatu. I mean, the nails, the shape, I mean, everything. Anyway, Cynthia Erivo. Okay, I know her name, Cynthia Erivo. But they terrified people so bad that they pulled them off of the media tour that they were doing. You watch those clips, man, they'll creep you out. I don't know what was going on with those two girls or ladies or whatever they are. But she just ruined her image. She ruined, there's people still haven't gotten over the little incident of her in a bagel shop licking icing off of a cupcake that was in the display case, bad-mouthing America. And that's been almost 10 years ago. But people have not forgotten her doing that. I haven't forgotten. Other people haven't. I see in underneath the advertisement. And basically, promotion is vitally important to anybody's success. Vitally important. maintaining relationship with your potential customers and the customers that you already have, that have already backed you, have already shown support for you, is vitally important. And if you lose that, then there's really no way to get it back. Now, it comes out that Mr. Matt Dinneman happens to have a production deal going on. And let me see if I can find it. Yeah, he has a production deal going on right now with what is his name? The guy who does Family Guy. Come on. Yep. Let me get the details here. All right. The streaming show in development by Seth MacFarlane. And he says, yes, Dungeon Crawler. This is Matt Dinneman admits he's inserting left-wing propaganda, political propaganda into his books. Yes, Dungeon Crawler Carl's highly political. It's a major theme of the books, and frankly, as soon as Operation Bounce House comes out, I suspect it's going to be even more painfully obvious where I personally stand on a whole bunch of subjects. And so he's just basically trying to, get this thing, get out of production hell. Because quite frankly, there's a lot of things in production that never make it out into reality. And so obviously what he's trying to do is he's trying to say, hey, I'm one of you. I believe like you do. I drink the Kool-Aid. I'm walking the line. I'm fitting in. I'm doing everything I can to kiss butt and make sure that you don't have any reason to take me out of production and cancel my project. And so I find out that this right-wing chud, what did he call him? Egotistical douchebag, I think. He's like, well, he did do like a short cameo, which he signed off on. According to Drinker, this guy signed off on it. In book 3, audio book 3 of 8, he has 8 books out. And because he did this one little snippet in book 3, he wants to make sure everybody knows that he is disavowing this guy with more followers than Seth MacFarlane, with probably more clout than Seth MacFarlane. Okay, for the sake of Seth MacFarlane, because he thinks he's going to get back pats. He thinks he's going to get a pat on the head, and he thinks he's going to get this production deal. But even if Dungeon Crawler Carl comes out now, there's a segment of society, a massive set of society, when there's a lot of crossover. Because Dungeon Crawler Carl had a very masculine edge to it. So the people who like that kind of testosterone-driven stuff, which he evidently is disavowing now, there's a lot of crossover there. And he has just totally destroyed it for the sake of the Family Guy dude who, yeah, that dude, right? And so it's just basically I mean, at the end of the day, what has he gained? I mean, what has he gained? It's like this
And if you don't
infamous
like my
moment from
politics,
comic books.
don't buy my book. Problem solved.
Who?
Well, let me tell you who. Kelly Sue DeConnick is a. I seem to be frozen. There we go. I'm moving again. Kelly Sue DeConnick happens to be a writer that they pulled out of indie comics. She wrote something called Bitch Planet, one of the worst comic books that's ever been written. There's a somebody read the script of it online. My friends, I can't remember the name of the stream, but it's hilarious. But it's really bad. And she got hired to do a rebrand on Captain Marvel. And she turned Captain Marvel into a butch cut girl boss who didn't need no man, and who spouted basically anti-male pro-feminist propaganda like nonstop. And Kelly gave that little interview there, and she was basically aiming it at Zach, your boy Zach, but she's just don't read them. And then wondered why Marvel's numbers dropped off a cliff. And this has happened a lot of times. Rachel Zegler said something very similar. You don't agree with my politics? Just don't watch my movies. And you know what? Snow White came out and people listen. So Matt Dinniman had some goodwill. Thought of him. 2 million people and counting. They were okay with the guy. Probably boosted his sales. But because he thinks that Seth MacFarlane's not going to like the fact that he worked for Critical Drinker, he's going to call that out. And Weasel burned the whole entire thing and disavow. Self-sabotage. Complete self-sabotage. Why? For a political ideology? Seriously? They have ruined their whole entire industry for the sake of a political point of view that many people actually agree with, if they're being honest. Because a lot of it's like anti-human. A lot, if you follow a lot of these degradation to humanity, they're the dissolution of our society. They're the destruction of everything we hold dear. If you follow these things that they're spouting from the podiums and the Oscars, if you follow what they're spousing, or they're shoving into all their work, it's the end of everything that we believe in as Americans, as humans, as Christians, you know. And that's what they're throwing everything away for. They no longer are making art. They're making propaganda for a point of view that's really not that popular outside of their friend circle. It can't be popular because it all ends with the destruction of everything that everybody holds dear. It can't be popular. It cannot be popular. And yet, these people like Matt Dinneman, like Kelly Sue DeConnick, like Rachel Zegler, like Bob De Niro and Ben Stiller and Ariana Grande. This point of view that they espouse with their buddies and whatever they're doing together. I really don't want to know. I have a hunch it has to do with sacrifice. But whatever point of view they're espousing, they are so religiously into it that they're willing to destroy their reputations, destroy their work, destroy all the goodwill that they've accrued, destroy the fan base that has supported them and brought them to where they are. Ready to throw it all out in this act of self-sabotage for what? What are they ruining everything for? This ideology, this perspective that cannot work. It cannot be adopted. It cannot. Look at Detroit. The things they're espousing took the Paris of the New World and turned it into what New York or what Detroit is now. And it's happening to LA as we speak. There's articles out right now about how LA is the new Detroit. And for what? For what? So, Matt Dinneman, good on you, bro. I hope those back pats and I hope that production deal goes through for you because you're burning your bridges, Coronado. You're burning your ships, Coronado. There is no way back from where you're going for people who don't care about you and don't support you that you have to impress. You threw away the people who liked you as you were, who supported you for what you created on behalf of people who you have to impress and will never, ever, ever truly accept you because they don't accept anybody except for themselves. They're all malignant narcissists. And you just threw away all goodwill that you had. Oh, Will. That's right. Critical Drinker's name is Will. So, anyway, just remember. But you threw it away. You threw all that away for this group over here who aren't impressed with you, would never be impressed with you, and support you, and will throw you away the moment you become inconvenient. And that's who you're trying to impress by these speeches that you're turning Dungeon Crawler Craig into Carl. Sorry, Dungeon Crawler Carl. That you're turning him into an anti-MAGA, anti-ICE thing in your next book, just so everybody knows where you stand. You stand in a smoking crater of what used to be Malibu. That's where you're standing, man. And you're standing there alone. Congratulations.
not a great plan.
Uh, anyway. Exiles, talk for the day. It's really a rant. Hoping that you got some encouragement out of it, or at least you got some understanding about it. I don't know why this post went viral, but evidently there's a lot of people that agree that this is an act of self-sabotage. Highlight Rick service. It's in the description. Got a sample for you. Repeat down. Worth your time. That's all I got for today. So y'all have a good day and follow the white rabbit. Bye, everybody. As soon as StreamYard lets me. 1 second. There we go.